This is the European edition of Breaking Banks, the world's #1 fintech podcast and radio show. We bring you the European unicorns, startups, founders, regulators, and leaders innovating the rapidly evolving fintech scene today. A truly localized podcast with both English and local language content, with some of the world's most well-known hosts and influencers in the fintech sector globally. Join us every week as we explore what makes the European Union a phenomenal proving ground for many of the fastest growing fintech players in the world today. Okay, let's roll.
Hey guys, welcome back to Breaking Banks Europe. My name is Samuele Rizzi. I'm the executive producer of the show, and today you will see why is a really special episode. Today we talk with 4 brilliant students under 20 years old to understand what's the relationship with money, finances, pension, full of details and conversation that you might not hear very often. Let's start as usual with a short introduction. This is actually one of the few times where I get to speak for more than 1 hour with my son. And that enough is already a great result. Romane, welcome to Breaking Banks Europe. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Romane Vitalis, and I'm a first-year student at Sciences Po Lyon University. I want to start off by specifying that I'm still a minor. Yes, I am 17 years old, but I will turn 18 next month at last. This fact really influences how I manage my money, as I do not have access to every part of my bank account, plus my still living at my parents' house, as I already come from Lyon. Indeed, I did not have the need to search for an apartment right away, but I am in fact looking for a roommate arrangement potentially for next year. I enjoy reading all sorts of books, going out with my friends, and spending time with my family, as I realize the chance I have of seeing them daily, contrary to my friends here. Moreover, I like listening not only to music, but also to podcasts about all kinds of subjects, from history to politics. I play rugby twice a week, but I always surprises people since I'm not tall or strong at all. Thinking about it, it really plays in my disadvantage because my opponents always have the upper hand on me. So I think that this short presentation sums up what you need to know about me.
Great. Guys, I gave them a brief before, and I said, like a 2 minutes introduction. So thank you, Roman, for taking it so seriously. You actually spoke for 2 minutes, which is, more than what anyone else, does it when they introduce themselves. So thank you very much. So Charlotte, welcome to Breaking Banks Europe.
Thank you. So hello, everyone. My name is Charlotte Aimard. I am 19 years old, and like my friend Romane, I'm a student at Sciences Po in Lyon. Before being accepted at Sciences Po, I was in first year of law school. About me, I am a curious person. I love reading, going out, and I like to discover new things. First, it is a pleasure to be here, so thank you, and I hope this conversation will be great. And more about me, I love to play piano. I'm also fond of cinema. I go to cinema every week, and that's all about me.
That's great. Elian, welcome. Let's go to the boys' side.
So my name is Elian. I'm 19 years old, and as Roman and Charlotte, this is my first year at Sciences Po Lyon University. This is the first year I live alone, so this is the first year I get to have my own budget and to keep my finance clean. About me, I love cinema. I watch a lot of movies, and I like to play a bit of sports and go out. I play badminton with Samuel every Monday. So that's quite the only thing you need to know about me.
Great, Elian. Thank you. Someone I know pretty well, but please, Sam, introduce yourself. Welcome to Breaking Banks Europe.
Thanks. Hello, everyone. My name is Samuele Rizzi, and I'm actually the son of Matteo. I was born in Paris, but now I live in Lyon for my studies at Sciences Po Lyon, which is a school which studies social science, politics, languages, etc. I just turned 19 since I was born in February 2004. And I love playing sport, going out with my friends, just like a normal teenager, a regular teenager. And I just wanted to apologize maybe for my French accent. Even if I speak fluently Italian, it's still complicated to speak fluently English. So yeah, thank you for the invitation.
Okay, guys, let's. So first of all, thank you very much, and thank you, Sam, for putting together this great team, from Sciences Po. And first of all, guys, relax. It's already, let's have just a conversation. Imagine we are in a bar, with a cocktail, a beer, or an orange juice, and we're just talking informally about your relationship with money. Okay, so. The purpose of this podcast is that there are plenty of bankers, executives from financial institutions, startups, people from that are using different technologies to improve the access to financial services, and very few of them understand what a Gen Z, right, someone of your age, think about money. So let's start a little bit with your own. What do you think your relationship with money is? Are you guys do you have a bank account? And I know that typically, Romane, you cannot have a fully access yet to a grown-up bank account, but you will soon, and you certainly have your own way to deal with spending money, even in terms of budgeting and stuff like that. So let's go one after the other. Super quickly, couple of sentences. What is your relationship? What do you think your relationship with money is, Romane?
So I think that from a young age, my parents have tried to instill in me the meaning of money. I did not get everything I wanted. I had to work for it to get good grades, and I think that this teaching really stayed in my older years. I try to spend as little as possible if I do not earn, or if the thing I want is not absolutely necessary.
But Romane, this is your relationship with how wise you spend the money. Great, but what about because even with 17 years old, you could be a client of a digital bank, for example, or are you still completely dependent on your parents give you cash in hands and therefore spend everything physically?
Well, my parents do not give money as I already live with them. So everything for fun or entertainment, I have to work the summer for, or on weekends. So contrary to my friends here, I can't spend the rest of the money my parents give to me after the payment of the rent or the groceries. I have to work to earn money.
And you don't have a bank account, right?
I do in fact have a bank account that my parents opened at my birth for me, and they put money on it every month, but I do not have access to this money yet. So the money that I'm spending now is the money I earned.
But this money is only cash for now, right? So you don't have either a debit card or a digital form of payments.
I do, in fact, have a credit card because it is an option at my bank, which is LCL, otherwise known as Le Crédit Lyonnais. And I carry cash with me, for example, to pay back my friends, because I can't get apps like Lydia or LivePay because I am still a minor.
Great. Charlotte?
I do have a bank account. Like Romane, my parents opened one for me when I was born, but now I have my personal bank account. I don't usually go to the bank. It's only to deposit cash, because I hate
to carry cash. Which bank do you have an account in?
It is at Caisse d'Épargne, la Caisse d'Épargne.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no digital banks at all. You're not a Lydia client.
No, I have the application of my bank. So the digital form of Caisse d'Épargne, but it's only to see how much I have in my bank account. But I also use a lot of transit applications such as Lydia, PayPal, I don't know, another one.
Okay, so you do use PayPal or Lydia, for example. Okay.
Yeah, but it's only like to when I do babysitting with families, they used to send me money by this application.
Okay, Elian. So for me, money is a wonderful way to achieve goals and dreams in the society. So I do like money, and it's an everyday relationship that I have with money. And I have 2 bank accounts, one in La Banque Postale, which my parents opened when I was 16. So at first it was really to pay my lunches and little spendings, but as I grew up, I noticed that I needed to have a bigger account where I could spend big money. So last year I opened an account at Boursorama, which is a digital bank, and I use it when I have an expensive spending to do, or when my first account is not used.
That is interesting, Elian. So why do you think that with Banque Postale you couldn't do big spending, or why did you feel the urge to open up another bank account?
In fact, as it was a teenager account, it was very limited in terms of spending.
Okay.
So I only get to spend $450 in like 7 days. So
okay, I got it. So the account you had before La Banque Postale was also a sort of a child account,
yes,
attached to a parent account. Okay, and since you have your main account in Boursorama is actually a pretty interesting player, because you can also build your own portfolio of investment. It's not simply an account like a Number 26 or Wise or a fully digital bank. We will come back into your relationship with savings and the future. Let's go to Sam.
All right. Yes. So my case is kind of special because I don't have a French bank account. I only have one bank account, which is an online one. It's Wise from Belgium. And I don't have a French. Oh yeah, maybe one that my parents opened it, but I don't. Yeah,
I confirm, but you almost don't know about it. But yes, it's a very common actually French habit. The fact that whenever a child is born, if a family can, there is this tradition almost that you open a bank account so that the family can put some money for birthdays and stuff like that. But this is not the type of account that we are now talking about, Sam, because in your case is Wise, right? Sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. And that's why right now I have Wise, and I only use it because because I am alone in Lyon, I need to have a bank account, and I have Wise like maybe 1 year or maybe 2 years ago. I installed it thanks to my dad. So yeah, that's why I use it only Wise.
So we have here. It's interesting. We have two like a very traditional bank account, the ladies actually. Then you have a less traditional, but like an online account, but it is actually much bigger than the day-to-day spending at Boursorama. And then we have Samuele, who has more like a traditional digital retail account. So in general, guys, when you think about the way you use the money, is how much of it is how much thinking about the money is about the now and how much is about the future, right? So, and do you think you have the right tools, or you're even interested in figuring out, about investment, how to save the money, how to structure your savings, or is it really, I need money because I want to go out. I need money because I have to pay my rent in the case of, the guys who are living alone, or getting money for the short-term expenses. So how much is present? How much is future? You're thinking about money. Let's start with Elian, for example, this time that has more this, maybe he has millions in Boursorama invested and he doesn't want to tell us,
I wish I could. I think it's not the it's a bit of both. Like when you're young, you obviously want to go out to spend money, but personally, I know that the more savings I do now, the more money I could spend in the future. So I try as much as I can to invest, but it's quite hard because we do not have the knowledge yet to invest.
Charlotte.
So for me, I would say that it is maybe 50% now and 50% in the future, because, well, I try to have many savings as I could for what is going to happen in the future. So it's really important for me that I have saving. It is even essential, I think. But also I have to pay for my transport card, my internet box. So I have many expenses every month. So I do not think of investments. I only think of what can happen. Yeah, what can happen in the future, and so I need money if something bad happens. Yeah,
I understand. Sam, I have a very specific question which I didn't think of before, but now I do. You know that in Wise, you actually have a feature that allows you, for example, to make a specific savings towards a specific goal. So in Wise, you can say, for example, hey, I want to buy a bike, so please, every month or every week, I want to set aside 20 euros, for example, until I reach the 300 euros goal, which is to buy a bike. So when you answer to the question that I was just asking about, is it about now or about the future? How well do you think you use Wise? Or is just simply for simple payments, internet payments, and payments with a card? Or do you also use the other features of the Wise account?
Yeah, I think I use Wise like maybe at 10% at his capacity, because I use it, like you said, only to pay online or with Apple Pay, thanks to the non-contact. But that's all. I never used the thing that you said before. I don't even know it exists. And I know that in Wise you can also transfer, for example, passing to euros, to dollars to but I don't use it because I don't even know how to do it. And I just use it to make everyday payments. But yeah, that's all.
So typically it's a matter of convenience, right? Just because it was fast to open it and is fast to use it. I understand.
Fast to use it. The transfer are very fast too, and there is also a good thing that every month you can it shows you your payments and in different categories. And that's why, every month I look to my spend and I say, okay, well, here maybe I spend a lot. Next month I should be aware of it, but that's the only things I use on Wise. Yes.
Romane, despite the fact that you are the youngest, even for a few days of the group, you seem to be someone who's already very conscious about the money she makes. What the work that is needed to sort of to earn the money. So what's your relationship with savings?
Personally, I think that life is so unpredictable that one could never have too much savings. One day you could be at the top of a great company, and the next you could be unemployed. So, and just like Sam has this feature, I did have the same when I was younger. When my parents created an account for teenagers. I do not have this still this, but when I was younger, it was an online bank which is called Card, and it allowed me to save money my parents used to give me for goals. For example, when I wanted an Xbox One, I would place my money in this, and I think that it is a habit that stayed even today.
Okay, guys. Now, before we go into a break, a very short question. I just want a number from 1 to 10. Okay, so between 1 to 10, how difficult it is to manage your own money? Sam?
7. I think
so 7 meaning that is difficult, right? So
it's difficult.
It is pretty difficult. So it is okay. Charlotte,
I would say 7, like Sam.
What? Why? Sorry, I know I was just a number, but now I'm curious about it. Shortly.
Because it's hard. Honestly, it's hard sometimes every month to be like to see the numbers and be like, okay. I need this, but I also need to spend this. So I don't think it's an easy task to manage money.
I also think that without you, that like I will be like with €0 at the end of the month because I really need advice from other person to know how to manage it. And alone, I think it's very, very hard.
Elian?
I would say 3 because personally, I always have in my head the amount of money I have in my bank account, and I know which payment I have to do during the month and which payment I already did. So it's not as hard as it seems if you just keep your expenses in your mind.
Good, thank you. Romane?
I would say 5 because it really depends on how much money you have each month. But I think that you have to have the will to manage money and to sometimes refuse going out if you don't have enough money.
Great. Okay, guys, let's now quickly go into a short break, and we come back and we're going to talk about decision making when it comes to spending. Okay, stay with us. Thanks for joining this conversation, and it's a wrap.
The FTS Group builds innovation ecosystems. We engage incumbents, investors, entrepreneurs, technology partners, and regulators to build trusted and connected fintech tribes around the world. We firmly believe that innovation in financial services will truly improve people's lives. Learn more on ftsgroup.eu.
Okay, guys, welcome back to Breaking Banks Europe. We are having this super entertaining conversation with a type of clients that banks do not understand today for sure. So we are with 4 students of Sciences Po Lyon, and we talked about we just finished the first part of the show with how complicated it is to manage their money. You will see that it's not that easy today to take this decision. Beside Elian, that you could already tell because he has an account in Boursorama, which is probably unknown for most people of under 20 years old. But let's talk a little bit about how do you guys decide to spend money? Because for us parents of teenagers like you, it looks like the decision for you to make an expense is mostly driven by social media recommendation, what other people says. And is that true? The reason why I'm asking the question is because the big guys, the banks and the brands are super curious about how you guys decide to spend money, and I want you to try to sort of answer this question straight. Let's start by someone that I think I know the answer from. Sam, you go first.
Yeah, before spending my money, I always ask myself, first of all, do I really need this thing or not? And if I really need it, if I think it is very something that I want to buy, I look at the price, and sometimes I just ask to my parents, like, oh, is it okay to spend that many for this thing? And sometimes I just don't ask them, and I say, yeah, like right now I have enough money, I can afford it. So yeah, I will go on, and maybe I'll try to next time look at for promotion or something like that to spend less.
But Sam, there is no component of when you decide, for example, to buy something that is not an Uber Eats lunch or something very basic, right? But something maybe like a bike or like a PC, or do you see, how important is peer reviews? So what people of your age or your friends, think about the product.
Well, to buy a PC and a bike is obviously not the same to buy just an Uber Eats, because it's kind of quite expensive. And well, first of all, I inform myself. I inform the average price of the products, and then in this case, for example, let's take a PC. If I want to buy a new PC, I inform myself, and then when I'm informed, I always ask my parents and maybe ask my friends to know if they buy it maybe less, or maybe they bought it and they think it's a good thing to buy. And that's why I always ask other person, and I never take decision alone.
Elian, you as well?
I personally inform myself as Samuel does, but I do not ask other people when I have to make an expense. I pretty much know how to have the best price because I inform myself a lot. I watch. It can take a lot of time to do so, but I think for me it's the best way when I have a big spending to just collect the most information of it, about the price, about the quality of the product. And so if I'm satisfied, if I'm willing to pay the price, so I will do it. But I do not think other people to.
Thank you. Romane?
I think that as both of the boys here do, I inform myself first, and But I think that if it's a small purchase, I will not ask my friends about it, because then their views of the thing will influence me. But if it's a big spending, like next month, I want to buy. I want to have a gift for my 18th birthday. I want to have. For example, something really big, then I will watch YouTube videos. I will read reviews. I will ask people who know really about this subject first before buying headfirst into it. But as an avid consumer of all kinds of social media, I would say that I am really easily influenced to buy things from, for example, the latest book to the most advanced hairbrush. Everything comes across me. But if I bought everything that social media continued to recommend to me, I think I would go broke. So as time passes by, I find it easier and easier to restrain myself from buying all sorts of things.
Charlotte.
Like Samuel said, when I have to buy a product, I first look at the quality and the price, but also the usefulness of it. And like you said, Romane, I think that social media recommendations play a major role. I mean, for my personal point of view and the way I make choices, it is true to say that I am really influenced by social media. Like yesterday, I bought a cream because everyone on TikTok was talking about it. So I can make depends, even if it's not necessary, because all of the reviews and the videos about it are showing that it's an incredible product. So I will be like, okay, I need to buy this. But like Romane said, I don't think it's a great thing to do, but yeah.
Got it. Guys, let's talk a little bit about, I want to say financial education, okay? Because there is this expression is that the less you know about money, the more it will cost you to manage it, because typically if you don't know a lot about money, for example, you will not be the best person or you don't have the best knowledge when you ask for a loan to buy a house, for example, because if you don't have the instruments yourself to understand money, this is where, in average, you will spend more than needed to actually manage it. Whether it is you will not know which one is the best insurance product, for example. You ended up spending more for an insurance product or more for a loan. Or you wouldn't, for example, be able to look what is best for your pension in the future, for your retirement. So do you feel that today, or are you even interested actually in knowing more about finances in general, and it can be as simple as figuring out how insurance works or how, the financial markets works or what are the different way of saving money or to invest money. So first of all, are you, and you say the truth, you can say as well, listen, Matteo, you are very nice, but I have my exams coming up, I don't have time for this, or why should I care about the pension? Don't be afraid to tell me that I'm asking something completely stupid, okay? I can take it. I'm actually here to ask, first of all, your genuine interest about it, and also whether or not you feel you have the right tools, right? The right instruments. Or if you have yourself to go to YouTube, if you have yourself to go and search, and it's not easy to find information about it. Maybe, Elian, what's the other thing about the answer? You go.
So I have the chance to have wealthy parents, but I do not have a very great education about money because they do not really know how to spend well their money and how to save their money. So from a very young age, I had to figure it out by myself. And as you said, I think we all have the tools, but they won't come for us. You have to search for the tools. We have internet, YouTube, thousands of videos where you can learn. And it takes time, of course, but if you want to do it, I think you can. And it is not as hard as people think, as students and young people think.
And I suppose that you personally, you seems to be very aware and interested in this world, right?
Yes, I'm quite interested in this world. I know that I am not the best in saving my money, but I try to get better every day. So I try to invest in crypto monies, for example, even if it's with a small amount of money. I try to learn. Even if I lose, I know that that loss that I get will only get me knowledge and experience for the next savings.
When you invest in crypto, do you actually try to understand which type of crypto you invest in, or you simply say, okay, I pick Bitcoin because it's the most known, and at least I try to understand a little bit what Bitcoin is for, because cryptocurrencies are like a gigantic sort of a world, So I'm curious about how do you pick?
To be honest, I pretty much get into cryptos when the Bitcoin was at like $60,000. So it was everyone was speaking about it, and I said, yes, I know this is only for a few time, but I do want to know more about this. So of course I invested on Bitcoin, but I also searched smaller cryptos, and even I collect information about NFTs and all this world. Even if sometimes I did not invest in, I tried to get the more information I could about it.
Thank you, Elian. Charlotte.
So honestly,
please be honest. By all means.
I'm not I'm interested in having better knowledges about finance and savings, but it's not one of my center of interest. Like I see people talking about crypto money and talking about investment and how it is something that everyone should do, but I feel like it's not for me. I don't know, because, well, I know how to manage my money, like how to keep money for whole months and not to spend it in 1 week. But all the things like crypto and investments appear really difficult for me. Like I know Elian said that in reality it wasn't that hard, but I feel like I don't have the right tools.
I understand it, and it is actually you something has to trigger your attention and your passion.
Yeah, it's not here for me. Like I love doing many things, but this in particular, I inform myself, but I will not go on Twitter and see how the cryptos are doing or anything else.
I get it. Romane.
Well, you said to be honest, so I'm going to give an honest review. But personally, I simply do not have the time and the necessary interest. I try to interest myself in managing my money by reading a famous book, Père riche, Père pauvre. But it didn't really appeal to me, so I haven't even finished it. But for me, if I wanted to get to know the finances, it would be easy because my father is a former trader. So he could teach me all the ways to invest in the stock markets, for example. But for most people, I think that money still is a taboo and a touchy subject in France, despite recent elections. Given that, I think that few people have the courage to speak up to help people manage their money. Most people, I think, would find it intruding and maybe a little bit condescending, as in their mind, who better than themselves to manage their own money? So I think that, as Elian said, you have to really search for the tools. They won't go to you. Yes, you have to search for them.
Got it. Samuele?
I think, Matteo, you choose the wrong school if you want to find people interested in the finance, because at Sciences Po, for example, we do not study mathematics, or maybe just a little bit. We are here to study, for example, French politics, and that's why I personally I'm not really interested in finance and just doing all the things. I prefer, when I have free time, I prefer inform myself on the new law or the latest scandal that the politics they did, instead of seeing the evolution of crypto money and Bitcoin and all the things. But it's very important to have the base, to know the base, to maybe have a good gestion of your own money. But if you want to go further, you have to search the right tools. With the internet, with YouTube, you can go and you can make everything you want. But that's not my case, and that's not my center of interest. Yes.
But Sam, and this is actually a follow-up question for you, and then I would like to understand what your three colleagues think about. I understand and I know, that of course, Sciences Po is not HEC or is not. But thing is, don't you think that actually the economy is the single most influential factor to policies and government? So there is a part of what you guys are striving for that is strongly sort of rooted in economic decisions, right? So I'm no teacher, but economics and politics are strongly tied. This is though macroeconomics, right? We were talking about more as financing and economics as your, in your own sort of in your own world, like as a consumer, as a client. But it is actually interesting that you're saying that is the wrong school, because I actually thought that the economic aspect of the political life was actually very important.
Well, of course, it's really important. And when I said that we don't study mathematics, in reality, we have like 1 or 2 hours per week. But that's not fact. Personally, I don't consider that at finance, because we don't study Bitcoin. We don't study the evolution of the euro. We study macroeconomy, and we study, for example, the budget to France. And so that's not quite the same.
It's not. I agree.
And that's why, of course, I'm interested, and I need to be interested in economy, because politics and economy they go together. But inform myself further to personally and earn more money, maybe knowing more about crypto money, NFTs, like Elian said. But NFT, I'm quite sure like 90% of all the people in Sciences Po don't even know what they are, NFTs. And so that's why I'm not really interested in that.
And Elian, actually, I have a question specifically for you, because you seem to be, maybe amongst, in this crowd, the ones that have more like a natural inclination, to find more about financial products. At which horizon of investment you're looking at? Because when you think about crypto, clearly is is a bit speculative potentially, so it's very short term, but I'm curious to understand if you also think potentially longer term in terms of savings. In other words, if I knew what I know now about financial investments, entrepreneurship, startups, saving, real estate, I would have probably started much earlier to invest than what I did if I had the chance. So I'm curious, and maybe this is the way we will close, to think what is your horizon, in which terms of horizons you're thinking?
I try to think on a short term and also on a long term, because as you said, the more invest you do when you're young, the more you will have when you're older. So I know that even if I don't invest much now, the profit I could make and the savings I could make in the future and in the long term would be way more important than if I just will be interested in crypto monies, for example. So I try to be interested as much as in crypto money as in the long-term investments.
Interesting. Guys, is there anything else that you want to add in terms of either your relationship with the money or with financial services, or something that, for example, you wish that your bank, in case of Romane and Charlotte, or your digital bank, in the case of Samuele and Elian, should do and they don't? Is there anything that you think you're missing? And it could be a service, it could be, someone that, a mentor, someone that from your bank call you and explain you things. Very, very short. Or frankly, you don't even care. Romane.
Well, recently I received mail from my banker inviting me to book an appointment with her to go over my plans for the future, so she can get to know me and my future needs. So I think that banks are getting better at communicating with the young people to teach them about their bank, their accounts. And the way to manage their own money. So I think that's a recent evolution, and I think that it should be highlighted.
Thank you. Charlotte?
Well, what I didn't like about my bank, and I think that it should have done it, is when I became a student, like when I went in Lyon to live on my own, I didn't get any message for an appointment or anything that could have maybe helped me with my spending and
with your new situation, right? Because you changed before. Okay, yeah. So it's a support, a follow-up.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. Sam?
Yeah. Something I just wanted to add is I recently saw that Wise monthly give you like 1 or 2% of euros that you have in did you like it?
The cashback.
And yeah, cashback. Yeah, and I think that all banks should do that because of the inflation. The inflation is very high due to climate crisis, Ukraine war, and it's like 5% inflation in France right now. So it's important to have cashback to don't lose money if you use a bank that you don't have interest in.
I don't think, unfortunately, that every bank will follow that, but this has to do with the cost, right? So Wise can do it because he has very low overall cost because they don't have branches, they have much less employee. But I get this. What you're saying, Sam, is that clients need financial stimulus, right? So financial, how do you say it? Not support, but I don't want to say this, incentives, financial incentives to basically make their customer more more faithful. Yeah, Elian.
I think one thing to add is that in France, the young people do not have knowledge about money and finance, because in our educational system, we don't speak about it. When we are 18, we know nothing about money. So the banks should really think about this thing, that they are speaking to people that know nothing about their business, and they should maybe provide a simple but very simple investment solution for the clients and the young people.
I agree. And actually, this is going to be, and thank you very much for being the guinea pigs of this show. We're going to have more sessions with students from different countries. I think also that country culture is super important, and it will be super important in the way that these debates will play. It is true. I think I think that Romane said that culturally speaking, in France, it's very bad to talk about how much money you make, how do you play with the money. And when you talk with an American, after 3 sentences, he or she is going to say, how big of a deal he did last month, or how much money she's making over the years, or how much her house is worth. And all these topics are completely taboo in France. So it will be very interesting to see how this type of conversation plays out in the other breaking banks. For now, Romane, Charlotte, Elian, and Samuele, thank you very much for being with us today. It was a great show. It was the first of many, I hope. And thanks again from Breaking Banks Europe. It's a wrap.
Thanks for listening to Breaking Banks Europe, a Provoke Media podcast in cooperation with FinTech Stage. Don't forget to tweet us out, shout out, or post to the team at Breaking Banks EU on Twitter. If there's something or someone you'd like to hear on our cast, let us know. See you next week on Breaking Banks Europe.